need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. Another week back. Closer and closer we get to the holiday times, to Christmas, to New Year's, and on to 2025. And you can be in a resale home. You could be in a new construction home. New construction queen. What does it seem like people are like? Do people like new construction still? Is that even fun for buyers? Is it exciting at all?
It's always a conversation I have with every single client. I do think it's an amazing thing to do for a lot of people because you may have incentives or negotiation power, and you get a brand new house. Everything is brand new. Everything is under warranty. And if something happens, it's not out of pocket.
Now, hold on.
Especially for first-time buyers. I love the idea of new homes for first-time buyers as they are learning to be homeowners. They have the backup of a builder to fix whatever may happen.
Okay, I thought that buying a new home is super complicated, and so for a first-time home buyer, they got to have a pretty good broker to help them walk through that process. I would imagine.
I do think, even though they don't technically need, right? They can stop by a model home, even though I tried to stop them from doing it. They could, or they can, stop at a model home and negotiate with the builder representative and buy a house without a broker, and hopefully everything will be good. They're going to have a smooth transaction, and everything will work as it should. But there might be problems, and then people have to remember that the builder representative represents the builder. If something goes sour, you may be lucky to have a great builder like our guest today, and we're going to talk about her later, and the builder. But if you don't get an amazing builder, it's a buyer as a civilian with no knowledge of everything against this huge company.
It's an interesting equation in the marketplace for a long time, the relationship of builders, brokers, buyers. I mean, all of that's varies. But when you have a quality builder and you've got a quality broker and a buyer, that really makes for a wonderful experience a lot of times. And so we're very excited today. We've got Mandy with David Weekley Homes hanging out with us today. Locally in the Lake Norman, Charlotte area, we'll call it, greater Charlotte area. Is David Weekley Homes building houses around here?
Absolutely, we are. Obviously, again, I am one sales agent of a lot of sales agents in Charlotte for David Weekley, but specifically, I work in Huntersville right now. I have an amazing community. It's fairly new. We opened about 9 months ago in Huntersville, right behind the new Publix, Highway 73, Davidson Concord Road. So I am here in this area. I've lived in Huntersville almost 20 years. So I've lived here. I work here. I love it.
And just before she moved to this new neighborhood and behind the new Publix, she was here on Catawba at the townhouses across from Elevation Church.
It's a beautiful neighborhood. Do you call it a neighborhood? What do you guys call it these
days? Community. Either one would work, yeah. But yeah, the retreat at West Catawba was a beautiful community for us. We sold out pretty quick. Obviously, location, huge. They were beautiful townhomes. And it was a really successful community for us. So we opened up North Creek Village, like I said, last March. And we've been rolling ever since.
I actually think that my client bought the last townhouse, wasn't it?
One of the last ones. Yeah. Yep. So I've been on a couple deals with you over the years.
Yes, I know.
Now, those particular townhomes on West Catawba, those were 400s, I want to say, or at least when they first started.
When they first started, yes. We probably had some in the 400s. They went up as high as like the upper high 600s.
And then how about this other subdivision in Huntersville?
Yeah, so this one's pretty great because we have townhomes and single family homes there. I think if you are driving in this area, you might not even really know what's back there because we are tucked away a little bit, which is nice, off the road. There's a lot of commercial and retail in front of us. Super convenient, of course. But I do have townhomes there. They are going to be from the middle 400s to the middle 500s, all 2 stories. Kind of a unique thing that we have there, which is, I think, unique to this area specifically, is we have like garage retreat options. So like a whole separate living space above a detached garage. So it can be like a bonus room with a bathroom, a kitchenette up there. People for older children coming home from college, that they want them there, but maybe not so close, which is really unique. You don't see that a lot in this area. So that's been great. And then my single family homes are going to be like mid 800,000s to mid 900,000s.
And can I advertise Publix? I'm a Publix person, so
Yeah.
I do shop at Publix.
Yeah.
I live nearby. Is the area now being cleared also part of your community?
So it's not part of David Weekley's development, but it is commercial development. So that will be a soulless apartment complex, luxury apartments.
Okay.
That area that they're clearing right there on the right, with more commercial and retail up in the front. So not part of what we're doing, but obviously just adding some more commercial and retail to that space, which is nice.
So can I put you on the spot right now?
Of course, yeah.
Talking about apartments and houses. Was it last year or 2 years ago, we had the controversy about the Laguna Bay thing, which is pretty much across the street from you.
Yep, it would have been right across the street.
Yes, right. And it got crazy. Everybody got involved. Community was pretty upset. Did you get any issues?
So our community was not officially open yet at the time, but I will say the biggest thing I think people were upset about was thinking about traffic. What's it going to do to traffic? I guess I'll even say personally, I thought it sounded really cool. It was like anytime there can be fun restaurants, shops, retail to go to, I was excited about it. I understand the traffic situation, but obviously doing what I do, I also appreciate new development and that kind of stuff. So we did not get any kickback from it, which is great. We will have a pretty large neighborhood though when we're all said and done. We'll have a second phase that will open in about a year and a half. But no one was too angry with us that I know of.
Maybe now.
But yeah, I know. But like I said, living in this area, again, I always know that traffic is a thing, but I always enjoyed like new restaurants, new places to shop. I mean, I'm a huge fan of that too. So,
and I do agree with you that the way it was presented for me was a bad idea, but I wish they had changed because yes, I was excited about possibly having more restaurants, more stores and things to hang out and not have to cross 77 as long as they don't touch Black Farms Road, which is beautiful. My top 3 road in North Carolina, I guess.
Yeah, it's stunning.
I
like
love,
the tree cover,
and this
beautiful.
is again, I'm a Publix person, so I go to my favorite supermarket, and then on my way home, because I live in Nordstone, which is behind Samford and behind your neighborhood, I take Black Farms Road. Are you familiar with it? Beautiful curve, the curves, the beautiful homes, the cows and donkeys. And so I was like, don't touch. You can build whatever you want. Do not touch Black Farms Road. And I think they would. So I'm happy they are out because it protects my favorite street in Huntersville for sure.
I'll withhold my comments right now for that one because what I want to really know about is how you two have met, and I'm sure there is a story there. We'll talk about that coming up a little bit. Maintenance Monday, we've also got to take care of the house even after we buy it, even after all those warranties, after the builder's gone and the years have passed and time goes. You want the value to keep going up. Well, you do have to maintain the house. So we'll have Maintenance Monday today as well. We'll take a look at that. And likely more shenanigans, picking out colors, just picking out countertops. That's what you do in the new construction. That's all it is, right? It's just glitz and glam, and that's all
Not
you
always.
have to. That's
what
it.
we'd love to say. Yeah.
Wait, that's what you told me. Is it?
Not
it's just,
always.
It's
No,
just,
I never said not always.
coming back. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, Mandy from David Weekley Homes hanging out with us. Beautiful and remind me, I'm sorry, the community name in Huntersville you are at now.
It is called North Creek Village.
North Creek Village. Now, you were telling us you've been with David Weekley for 9 years?
That's right, yeah.
Do you get to name the neighborhoods after a while? Like, how does that work?
Right. I personally have never named a neighborhood. It has happened in the past, though. Different people get to name them. Depends on sometimes if there's a developer, sometimes maybe someone from the home builder might name it. I have never personally named it, but this one's easy. It's the same name as the shopping center that it's behind. That public shopping center is also called North Creek Village.
North Creek Village. There you go.
Nice and easy. Yep.
Located there, that Highway 73 corridor near Davidson, kind of backside. You could also get to Ckezepis and 85 kind of quickly from that direction too. Do you find that to be a pop? Are you guys staying busy with the flow of people coming through and looking?
Yeah, absolutely. The good thing about being behind a shopping center like that is we get people that come in all the time that were simply just going to Publix to get groceries. And then they're like, oh, I want to come see what's back here. So that's great. And then, of course, we're like literally in between 85 and 77 that you can hop on Davidson Concord Road there and get to downtown Davidson. So we're just in a great centrally located area of Huntersville.
And you mentioned townhouses and single family
That's
homes.
Right.
That's quite a variety. That's a decent, mix in a neighborhood, different lifestyles being lived there. How's that feel in the community? Because everybody wants to know, how's it feel? That's
absolutely. How does it feel? And it's great because it kind of opens it up for a variety of different people, what they're looking. Are they downsizing? Are they buying their first home? First-time home buyers, people who have done this in the past. This is their fourth or fifth home. So you get to work with everybody, which is great. I love that opportunity of it. For sure. And it's a nice, so there's trees back there, there's woods, they're leaving a good amount of trees there. So I think that's something we miss in new construction a lot. You don't go in and clear cut it and houses for as long as I can see. So it's just really peaceful back there and it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Now, is this the same subdivision that you've worked with Mandy and David Weekley on, or was there a different one?
Not this one.
What are some of those experiences been like for you and your clients?
So we started 3 years ago at Bright Walk, which is close to Camp North End. My clients actually bought the model home.
They did.
We had a great deal. The house came furnished.
Fully furnished. They get everything.
Yeah, they got everything, which was pretty amazing. So they had to bring their suitcases and nothing else. And I think they kept most of it. And we are actually under contract. They are moving to the beach. So 3 years later, they are selling the house. And I'm going to say and I can talk about the Catawba experience with you, but we had an amazing transaction when they bought this house, the model home, and now the house is under contract. The buyers had the inspection done, and today I got the inspection. There's something about the attic, nothing major, but just trusses. They want a ladder. I talked to my clients. I'm like, I can't remember if you got an engineer ladder, blah blah blah. So I emailed Mandy, and she answered right back. Talked to, what is it, Peyton?
Penny. Yeah, in our warranty department.
And I called, left a message, and I think in 2 minutes, they had answered and scheduled. They're coming to the house tomorrow. So it was easy, not full of like 1,000 people to talk to, 1,000 forms. It was literally an email, answered, contacted the warranty, and I called on behalf of my clients because, again, many times I tried to take the burden and do stuff for my clients, my sellers, my buyers. So I didn't get any like, oh, I'm not going to talk to you. You're just a realtor. Tell your clients. They answered me and they scheduled the thing in 5 minutes, everything was done. They're coming tomorrow morning to take a look at it.
Oh, that's great.
Pretty amazing.
Penny's wonderful. I will say, and again, speaking for David Weekley Homes specifically, because I do hear people come in with kind of nightmare stories of maybe something that they've had in the past, warranty-wise, that they can't get a phone call back. They can't talk to anybody. And I think here in Charlotte, Penny is literally in our office in Pineville. She's a real person, and she's going to send out our real warranty service representatives. It's not a third party. So you're talking to people that we see every day in the office. So I think that's something that we are very proud of as a company. We try and set ourselves apart by customer service in general, but of course in warranty, because that's where it can get frustrating. Once the happiness of building and the excitement of closing, and you bought all your brand new furniture and everyone's so happy, but like, how do you continue to keep people happy? And of course, we love repeat buyers, and we love repeat buyers agents, because the relationship between us as the builder and our buyers agents is very important. And we want to keep that strong relationship and have you bringing us customers over and over again.
Which happened again.
It did.
When Marty said, I'm interested in the townhouses on Catawba, I'm like, go for it. They are great. And then talk about a real person, like Penny, a real person here. I'm going to use this to talk about the second time we had a transaction. talk about loan officers. So I have my loan officers that I usually recommend, and I always say I don't get anything other than peace of mind that these people are going to work. So I have my 3 go-to: Deanna Vasily, Ashlyn Gift, Jessica Babinski. I trust them because they're here, and I know that if something happens, they'll take my call. They're answering my phone. If it's Saturday night, of course, I avoid doing it, but if it's needed, I know they will answer the phone, call me back. They will be here for me. I tell my clients that. I'm like, it's, again, I don't get a commission. I don't get anything. I get peace of mind that things will be done. And with the second transaction, love my client, but she insisted on using someone else. And let's say it was not fun. There was, everything took forever. There was lack of response. It was not an easy thing. People don't understand sometimes what we are doing behind the scenes to try to make a deal happen. And so my client didn't want to use their loan officer. My client didn't want to use mine. She used someone. And it was not fun. It was delayed, which could be a horrible thing with many, or I would say most builders. If we were behind, the buyer would be severely fined for delaying closing. And Mandy and David Weekley, and I had told my client, I'm like, get ready, because it will likely get ugly, because it's on you. Like, you are behind, your loan officer is behind. You will, it's not going to be good because you are not respect. And they were amazing. Of course, we pushed to do it as quickly as possible. But, I was in awe with how David Weekley dealt with everything and really did everything they could to help my client. And by the way, it's her anniversary is coming up, I think, in January.
Yeah, January or February.
Yeah,
Yep.
So I had emailed her, I think, yesterday, saying, hey, 1-year warranty. Do you want an inspection? What's going on? And she's like, I don't think I need anything. Everything is awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, she said, I'm going to do my own kind of walkthrough around the house, but I'm super happy. Everything is awesome. So, which is a good sign too. Yes.
Well, there's certainly 2 sides to it. There's a process side. So you as a broker want a good, great experience for your client. You want to make sure the client's happy with the product and the process. So product and process, let's come back to process a little bit product-wise. So what's up? What David Weekley doing the best, nicest stuff out there and most comfortable, or what? What's the deal?
Absolutely. So we love, again, reputation. We don't do a lot of advertisement as far as commercials and billboards and things like that. We really want to go by word of mouth and customer satisfaction. Obviously, it's a huge part of that. But I think the style and design of our houses stand alone too. They're memorable. We're known for our quality. We are a production builder. We are not custom. We are not semi-custom. So that's the one thing we always want to make very clear. But I think we're a little bit different than every builder has their niche. So we kind of fill that niche. Our style and design, sight lines. We have a little bit more architecture to our plans. So it's gonna be a little interesting. So I think that's kind of what we're known for, certainly. And then the quality of our build, maybe the things you don't see when you walk into a finished home, but the things that are behind the wall is what we're going to be known for as well. We do things a little bit different. They might be a little bit more expensive, but I think that quality stands for itself, and that's what we're really proud of. So that's kind of what we're known for in the industry. I would say, again, that's why we do have a lot of repeat clients, both on the agent side and, of course, on the home buyer side. So we're really proud of the products we build. Like I said, we do have townhomes, and we build them in Uptown. We build them here in Huntersville. We have a 55 and older communities, which are newer to the Charlotte market for us. So we're kind of doing a little bit of everything. But again, it's definitely our reputation, and we love to hear people come in and, they might have bought a home in Florida, and they'll say, I had a David Weekley home in Florida. I had a David Weekley home in Texas, and that's why I came to this neighborhood, because I want to go to another David Weekley home. And
they even have, for instance, houses in both 3 that I know, they have high ceilings. What is
10-foot ceilings? Yeah.
In a townhouse. So it's pretty nice.
Beautiful, yeah.
And it has nice finishes. Here, the Catawba one has, I've been to the ones behind Publix, like almost offensive, gigantic closets.
Yeah,
which is pretty
exactly,
nice.
Which is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, and we do have some different levels. So, we have our traditional David Weekley product, which is going to be huge windows and 10-foot ceilings. And Then our townhomes in North Creek Village is going to be our imagination product. So it helps us keep that price point just a little bit lower. So again, same great quality, but 9-foot ceilings instead of 10, certain things like that. And then, like our 55 and older communities, of course, our 1-story ranch style homes. So we have a little bit of everything again.
Obviously, David Weekley Homes is doing something because you guys have built one neighborhood, one community, and then you didn't get kicked out, and then you built another, and you've built more, and you've built more, and you're still building here locally in the area. So it's got to say something about it because people tend to run you out if they don't like you.
That's
so
right. Yeah, that's always great news. Yeah, we've been in Charlotte since 1996, so it's been a while.
Almost 30 years building here in the area. So Mandy with David Weekley Homes hanging out with us. Claudia Ogrizek, Justin Ckezepis. We still have to make sure we talk about what to do after the builder is gone and you want to maintain that beautiful home and you want it to last longer and go up in value. Part of it is you got to take care of it.
Always. Always.
Always.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate, hanging out with Mandy of David Weekley Homes, North Creek Village, a beautiful community being built in kind of different phases. What's the phase of North Creek Village right now, would you say, Mandy?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we opened in March, so we're fairly early in the construction right now. We will have a second phase of single family homes opening in about a year and a half. But right now we have 87 townhomes. So we don't necessarily open those in phases, but we release buildings as we go. We never want to carry more than a certain amount at a time that aren't sold. So we're going to, sell a few, start a new building, sell a few. And the way that works with our townhouses is our designers are going to choose all the fit and finishes, the colors, everything like that. So we're going to release those for sale on an inventory basis. So when we put them up for sale, they're all, as we would say, like a quick move-in, a spec home inventory, whatever you might know those as.
Okay. As an agent, as a buyer agent, as someone that loves selling new construction, my question is, are you putting everything on MLS?
So we are. As soon as the home turns to what we would call a stage 1, so that's basically coming out of the ground, we have our internet advisor, Jenny Miller, who is amazing. She's in charge of all our MLS. So she's going to get all of those homes in MLS as soon as they're available for sale, which is great.
And are you welcoming? Because we can talk about it.
I was going to say,
are you welcoming buyer agents?
Absolutely, we are. And I will say David Weekley always has, and continues to pay our buyers agents 3% of the total purchase price of the house. Amazing. And so we welcome buyers agents. And I think that's the thing. Like you mentioned, if people can come into a model home anytime. And I know there's those buyers, they're driving around on the weekend and they've been working with a buyer's agent and then they just happen to roll into a neighborhood. And what we really want our agents to understand is we are on your side. We are a good team together. We are not going to cut somebody out because they didn't come to the neighborhood with their client for the very first time, of course. So we want to make it very clear that we really like our buyer's agents. We depend on you guys to bring us clients. And so we will pay that 3% buyer commission. And a question that comes up a lot with buyers is they'll say, well, what if I don't have an agent? Can I get more? Will you give me more off the price? And the answer is always no. So it's a separate situation. We're not going to incentivize someone for not having a buyer's agent. So, and I think that's important because if someone hears that a builder is going to incentivize someone for not using a buyer's agent, that's not great for our business either because we depend on you guys.
It's true. And not only that, I have one of my clients and I know she has referred me, I don't know how many people, so many people. And I know she loves me. We became friends. She refers me to her best friends, her whole family. It's crazy. But she told me that a few years ago, as people do, they were driving around, not thinking about moving or anything, saw a new neighborhood, saw the sign. It seemed fun. They went. And this, by the way, one day I'm going to stop by the headquarters and talk to them because it happened again not long ago. But anyway, she stopped. She stopped at the model house like so many people do. She said, I have an agent. We're just driving around. And the salesperson said, look, if you don't use an agent and let me handle, I'll give you a $4,000 discount. And she thought, new construction, not a big deal. And then she called me one day and she said, maybe a month or two after they were under contract. And she's like, Claudia, I have something to tell you. This happened, and it was the biggest mistake of my life because it's been a nightmare. They don't help. My husband and I are fighting all the time because now he says, where's Claudia right now?
Mm-hmm.
But the sales rep told her, do not use an agent. I'll give you $4,000. And I keep telling people and trying to make people understand that, if someone is doing that, of course they don't. I mean, not all builders. Many are amazing and great to work with. There are many builders that I love that are honest. But some of the fact that a builder rep is saying like, don't use an agent. Like, be aware. For me, this is a red flag. Of course, a builder like that prefers that you don't have an agent. So if something happens, again, it's a person that knows nothing about contracts and all the phases and everything that goes through the construction and after construction. Of course, it's easier if they are not great, that they don't want an agent protecting the buyer.
Yeah.
So, and actually one of the buyers I told you last week about, they said, we were driving, don't worry, because we know we're not supposed, we didn't leave the car. We didn't do anything. And I'm like, well, and they told me about a neighborhood. I'm like, by coincidence, this is one of the great builders I work with. And I know they would let me know and it will be okay. But thank you, because you never know.
Yeah.
Because you might drive across the street to another builder. And actually there is one next door that is the one that tells buyers, like, don't use an agent. So they're like, no, we didn't leave the car. Can we go see something?
Well, and hopefully I would never, it's just when it's one more person in the process that's there to help them. Of course, yes, I do represent the builder. I'm a licensed broker. My license is hung with David Weekley Homes. Of course, they're my customers. So I'm going to do everything I can, whether they have an agent or not. But why not have one more person that's there on their side? It's only going to help the process. And I think, like I said, we want to make it very clear that we really value our buyers' agents.
So for the process, right? Because someone may come in, let's say at the very beginning of a build, maybe they're, a CO is issued and this thing can close tomorrow and anywhere in between. Communication seems to be so important. Does David Weekley, do you guys value that in part of the process?
Yeah.
How does that go?
Absolutely. So we have a policy that every week my superintendent, the builder, and I, we sit down and we call all of our buyers. That might be only for a week or two. Maybe they buy a home that's totally finished and they came in and they're ready to go. But we want to make sure, we never want them to know a stranger. So maybe they don't work with the superintendent building the house, but we like to introduce them to our warranty service reps before they close, just so they know everyone in the process. Of course, there are times where you get to pick everything. You're going to come in, you're going to find the home site that you love. You're going to find the home that you love. You're going to go to our design center and spend hours picking everything out. And then we have all these on-site meetings. But of course, during that process, we're still going to call you every week. And I think one of the policies at David Weekley is even like, we know not everything is perfect all the time. It's a man-made product. So bad news fast. We're not going to try and hide anything. We're going to want to, even if it's not great news, maybe something's delayed. Maybe we didn't get to do something this week that we thought was going to happen. So we're going to keep that open line of communication with the buyer. And that's important, so they know what's happening, what did or did not happen the week prior, and what they expect to happen the next week. So that's something that I think is really helpful for everyone too, just that we always have those open lines of communication. Because I think that's maybe one thing that scares people. They don't know, what's the process going to be like? Is it going to be hard? Am I going to have to be frazzled? And I think, my job is to kind of walk them through step by step. It doesn't have to be big and scary and overwhelming if you kind of do it a little bit at a time.
So something that is scary is that warranty thing for some folks, because the ground moves. Is that the best way I can say? Like dirt moves. Is that an easy way to say it? Where there are points after the build and the closing. Do you guys have, what's your warranties like there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a pretty, common warranty that you might see in new home construction, and that's a 1-year builder warranty. So that's going to cover them on any defects in workmanship and materials for their first year. We're going to do a 10 or 11-month walkthrough with them where we're going to come in and kind of address anything that's happened in the first year as the home settles. Nail pops are the most common. And one thing I want to note about that kind of makes our warranty maybe a little bit different. Again, I've heard from other people that the builder they built with in the past, they had that warranty, but they forgot about it. They didn't make the phone call to them, so they lost out. We're going to contact you directly. We're going to contact our buyers and get them ready for that 1-year walkthrough.
Okay, so that speaks to quality, we'll say that.
That's right. And then we have a 2-year mechanical warranty, so anything behind the walls, and a 10-year structural warranty. So that will be anything from the foundation on up.
And by the way, not all builders do that, but my clients do, because I remind my clients the warranty. So every single buyer gets my call saying, hey, we are 10 months in, 1-year warranty is coming up. Are you going to hire an inspector to do a full inspection before we, the full warranty, unless, of course, they broke something. But I'm like, but yes, not many, actually very few do call, right? But I call my clients.
And it seems like new construction kind of has the inside scoop on this whole interest rate thing going on these days, potentially. So as far as lender partnerships and all that, I imagine that all becomes part of the equation too. More next. Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate. Justin Ckezepis, Claudia Ogrizek of Compass Real Estate. We've been hanging out with Mandy, too, from David Weekley Homes. North Creek Village is the newest community over 73 Davidson Concord Road, that kind of area, that new public shopping center. A lot of new coming in that direction, and David Weekley making that stamp known over there as well. Do you have any inventory available right now by chance, Mandy?
Yes, absolutely. So I have some townhomes, 5 units actually, that are totally complete, ready to move in. So we can close as quickly as possible on those. And I have about 4 other ones that are in framing process, kind of ready anytime in the first quarter of next year. So we're super excited about those. And then I have some single family inventory too. One that's, again, quick move in, ready to go, and one that will be ready in like February or March. So we would love for everyone to come and look at them.
So what's things, again, buyer agent here, what's the incentives? Let's say for the townhouses, what are you doing right now?
Absolutely. So like I said, we do have some finished homes. We would really love to move those. We have lowered our prices a little bit, got those in the MLS to lower the prices. And then we did talk about, financing or lender incentives. We have 3 preferred lenders that we work with. They're not in-house lenders, but they're our preferred lenders, and we always offer a 1% towards closing costs. So the lender will pay 1% of the buyer's loan amount towards the closing. On some of my finished homes that are ready to go, David Weekley is offering an additional $10,000 on top of that. So you're not going to see on our end, some of those like products where they're advertising a certain interest rate, those are done a little bit differently. They buy kind of like big bulk rates, some of those larger companies. But with that, 1% and the extra $10,000, the buyers really can do a lot with that as far as either buying a permanent rate down, or maybe it's a 2-1 buy down. That's a big.
Yeah, I was going to ask. Yeah, so you can do whatever you want with the $10,000.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. And then, of course, again, we have our buyer's agents commission too. So hopefully we have a lot going on that will, be great for some
And what's
buyers.
let's say for the townhouses, so average price point of the inventory ones?
High 400s to lower 500s.
Okay, what's the earnest money?
And then the earnest money, that was the next thing I was going to bring up. Earnest money is 3% of the total purchase price. Okay. So not too crazy. I have heard some that are really high.
Let's say 12, 15,000
that's right.
earnest money.
And then maybe up to our single family, they're in the 800s or 900s. So you're looking
closing 30 days from now?
Yeah, we can close as quickly as they can close on those finished ones.
Okay. Perfect.
Which is great. Yeah.
She's already thinking about 5
I know.
to 10 people.
Of course. I'm like, my brain is like, so, who do I call? Who do I call?
That's right. Bring them all.
And again,
perfect.
I live 5 minutes from it.
Right there.
Love the area. It's amazing. So you are right. As you said, like easy access to 85, 77. You are across the street from Davidson.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, I have 38 home sites right now in my single family. We're sold. We're about halfway sold out. We will have a phase 2, as I kind of mentioned earlier. It's 117 more single family homes.
It's crazy. I'm trying to picture like where's it
going to go? I will say there will be an entrance to it off of Black Farm Road. I know, just an entrance. It's just an entrance. But there's a creek, there is a real creek that runs back there, North Creek Village. So there's some protected tree buffers, things like that back there. So we will have about half of our 117 on that side of the neighborhood, closer to Black Farm. another half on the other side of the neighborhood.
Roma Church. It's kind of, for me, I'm trying
It
to
is. It's
visualize,
right in
but
between.
you're going to be in the middle of those
Of Black Farm Road and Rama
amazing
Church.
state homes.
Beautiful homes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Beautiful.
And also behind or in between those and the ones on Rama Church
That's
are
right.
pretty amazing. Okay.
Yeah, beautiful.
The new construction process, what else tends to be unique for buyers is after the home is sold and the neighborhood is still being built, or there's other phases, and so there's construction and there's things going on. What's that like working with David?
Yeah, absolutely. And we like to be very honest. Like you are living in a construction zone. Hopefully not for very long. We'll move down the street a little bit, but we like to, we get the streets cleaned every week. We want to not have nails, we want to get nails and tires, things like that. But, there is sounds involving construction. But again, I think that goes back to just the open communication. My superintendent builders are on site all the time. I'm available. And it's like if someone's blocking your driveway, that's super frustrating. But just call us, get us out there, send us a picture. This car is sitting in front of my driveway. I can't get out. And we're going to have them move, obviously. So there's a little bit of movement as you're living through construction. But we just like to say it's not forever. So just bear with us, and we're going to do the best we can to make sure they're
And going back to what I think is amazing and great about new construction, yes. So if you choose especially earlier phases, then yes, you have to deal with construction, traffic, and noise, but your house will automatically get equity because each 5, 10, do you have like kind of an average?
Yeah, not necessarily a set average. It kind of just depends on what's happening. And, for instance, in my new homes, in my single family homes, there's, our model floor plan is the most popular, as a lot of times it is, just because people can see it decorated. So like our price escalated a little bit quicker on that one just because we were selling more of it, again, supply and demand. So our prices have gone up a little bit more on that. Or when we release new lots is kind of a time where the home sites might go up.
I would say many times, let's say townhouses, and I'm going to just make up a number, but it's not far from reality. Let's say most builders would do 5. Once those 5 are sold, you will probably increase $5,000 and $5,000. So if you buy in the beginning and you're patient, by the end of the neighborhood is ready, your house that once was $450, it's like $500 already.
That's right.
And you're just watching it grow.
It's your prize for dealing with the construction traffic for a little bit of time, right?
Yeah. I had a new listing. They bought just dirt, and because they watched the whole neighborhood be built and then they added things, many people came like, oh, how is this possible? They paid a little less than 700 like 3 years ago. Why it's more than $1 million now? I'm like, because they did the right thing at the right time.
That's right.
They just sat and enjoyed the house.
Yeah.
Get value.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why the saying that I can never remember, don't wait to buy. Now I think I knew. Don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait.
Something else that you should wait for is maintaining the house because it's new construction at first, but eventually it gets some more seasoned, we'll say, as the years goes on, and you got to take care of it.
Yes. And one thing, going back to the warranty that most, especially the larger builders offer, what we call the 1-2-10, you can also, and you should, and again, I remind my clients, that the good builders do remind them as well, you can register all your appliances, HVAC, stove, blah, 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 and then add the manufacturer's warranty. So even though by the builder, many times it's 1 year, if you register, and if you're my client, you will, because I sent 100 emails until you tell me I did it. If something, you get parts, so you only pay for labor. But this is another great thing about new construction. Everything is new. Everything should work. And if by any chance they don't, they are under warranty. So it's not on, I think it's amazing. It's crazy that I've never had new construction.
You need one in North Creek Village.
Well,
Northstone, you're really close. I'm sure your husband won't care. Move on over.
But I am one of those sellers. One of those with like a 2.75 interest rate.
That's the thing, yep.
So I know the whole market's suffering because of people like me. But, until we don't need to move.
Yeah.
And this is how Kevin has fun, because he knows I would easily sell, buy, move. I don't care. But he knows that I love the 2.75.
Yeah.
So he's like, I know we're gonna stay here for because
Gonna hang out for a while.
you don't want to let go of the interest rate, which is true, and many people are holding on to amazing interest rates.
Mhm.
Otherwise, I would, and I think I need to experience new construction one day
You do.
because I love it and I sell it all the time. It's one of my biggest,
Yeah.
so I'll do it.
Well, okay, even if it's new construction in the beginning, eventually you got to take care of this thing. It's not going to be the builder forever.
No.
So maintenance Monday, what you got on tap for people? What you got to take care of?
Because it's winter, right? So the cold outside, the heat inside, everything moving, houses contracting, expanding, your doors might get stuck. So maybe it's time to either use some WD-40 to see if the hinges are okay. And if not, just make sure to adjust the doors, the handles and everything so everything works. Because the houses do kind of move around a little.
Yeah, they breathe a little
Yes,
bit.
they breathe a little. Yeah, I
Yeah.
joke, but it's true that the house is a breathing, living kind of, and it has to. So let's talk about winter and the expansion, contraction. Take a look at doors and hinges and everything.
And Mandy, you mentioned that David Weekley Homes doing that, 9-month to 1-year range walkthrough with buyers of y'all's units. And so being able to walk through and see what's going on. Do they say those kinds of things like Claudia? Just like the house feels like it's breathing a little bit.
Yeah, a
Is
little
that,
bit.
is
Yeah,
that what
you'll
people
notice like I said,
describe?
that's when those nail pops kind of come out because the house it's gone through a heating cycle, it's gone through an air conditioning cycle. So that's really common. Of course. And, again, one thing that we've seen as far as energy efficiency has become more of a thing. Sometimes the houses are built so tight now that they might not have that opportunity to breathe like that they're supposed to. So like in our homes, we have like a fresh air intake. So like every 15 minutes, like fresh air is being pumped in through the house to circulate it around. So that's something, again, you'll see is different builders build different ways, but once you started sealing up the windows and everything sealed so tight, that was something that was different from older homes. But again, we're always going to be there to kind of come in at that 11-month mark, and of course, anytime in the process, they don't have to wait until that point. And certainly, we're still around after that as well.
They are today.
I'm so glad that happened today.
So yes,
I can't
it is
believe
true.
it.
That's
That's great.
They do.
That's great.
Mandy with David Weekley Homes hanging out with us. North Creek Village. Check out the subdivision. Check out the community. Highway 73 and Davidson Concord Road around that public shopping center out there. Beautiful new subdivision. Townhomes and single family homes.
So call
The
me
new construction
and I'll take
queen.
them.
and
That's
then go
right.
over to see David Weekley Homes. Thanks, Mandy. Thanks for hanging out.
Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely.
you.
Claudia Ogrizek, Justin Ckezepis.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry.
Yay.
Yes,
And Happy New Year.
everything.
All of it. See you next time.